Hi there, I'm Michael O'Giblin with Fiddlershop.com, and this is a tutorial on the 6th violin part for our group project, Let It Snow. Now the 6th violin part is the great part to play if you're a beginner. You can do it all in first position. You can use a lot of open strings. And the only thing I recommend is if you're going to use open strings, please make sure your violin is really in tune really well so that it fits nicely with the whole ensemble. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it through from start to finish. You can play along with me if you want. And then I'll talk through some of the little pointers, little keys to success. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little earbud in. And 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, play. Okay, so just a couple little things. Again, you can go ahead and play open strings whenever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. I do recommend, I mean, if you're able to, there's a couple places like at the end of the line, measure 4. Since we're coming from this B flat, and we're going back to the same B flat, if you can just use 4 there, that'll save a lot of unnecessary string changing. But I know a lot of people don't love their 4th finger, myself included. I don't love playing 4. And then 5, you know, there's a lot of 4. So I understand if you really want to go to open string, that's fine. And then again, we want to try to really sustain as much as we can. I know that the temptation is to blah, to kind of, instead of blah, have a rest there. And so try to not do that. If you can try to keep the sound going as much as you can. There's a couple places at the end where there is a rest noted. But that's, so observe it when there is a rest, but try to sustain as much as you can. Try to have a nice kind of open, just even sound. Going along with that, keeping an even sound, one of the temptations is because we have a lot of just half notes where you have, like at the beginning, we have half note, dotted half note, is to try not to kick these single quarter notes. Try to avoid kicking them. So something I think about when I get to stuff like that is when I have a dotted half note, think about save the bow. And then you spend it, when you spend it on the quarter note, we don't use a lot of pressure. It's just a little bit, it's speed, but without pressure, right? So it's more pressure for the dotted half note, but then less. So it's a little bit of this. You have to press down on the, to save the bow, and then let up. So something to keep in mind when you're working on that. And then, so I think it's a lot of the repeated notes. Again, just the last 2 notes, I would say, when we get there, let's play those last two notes short. It's not noted, and there's nothing in the click track that would give that away. But just if you can, it's just sort of a cutesy little like, hey, that's the end of the song, bum, bum. And I think you know, if we all do it together, it'll be a nice little thing. One little note I forgot to mention earlier is that in measure 11, there should be a sort of a courtesy flat sign there, just so that you know. In 11, we have the B natural, and then in measure 12, it's B flat. So remember, accidentals are like alcoholics. They stop at the bars. And but sometimes it's note writing programs don't often write in these little courtesy or accidentals, so that you know, so just watch out for that. All right, so the last thing is just spend a little bit of time when you're recording to try to make sure that your instrument and face are all in the frame, and try not to be, you know, like so close that we only see your instrument and like only your mouth, or you know, something like this. Try to get it nice, kind of level with you. Try not to be like way off to the side or anything like that, so far away. Try to be pretty close, and leave just a little bit of space at the beginning and at the end of the video recording, so that we have kind of some free space to line everything up. And yeah, I think that's basically it. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'll try my best to answer them. And we look forward to seeing you take part in our group project. Thanks so much, and we'll see you at Fiddlershop.com.